That was quite a big occasion. In order to get back his belt and the Georgian machine, Paddy just destroyed Ankalaev. Merab Dvalishvili tied the division record and solidified his reputation as one of the greatest bantamweights of all time by defending his title for the third time. Furthermore, Merab has already mentioned returning in December. The champion stated in his post-fight interview with MMA Junkie that he plans to defend himself against Peter Yan in just 2 months. From beginning to end, his initial altercation with Peter was nothing more than destructive dominance. We'll find out, but it's difficult to think of a different result in the rematch. Merab also discussed the crazy moment during the fight when he almost knocked down Sandhagen, claiming that the referees ought to have intervened to stop it. In any case, the Cardio King continued to make elite competitors seem unremarkable with another commanding performance. Since he has already defeated nearly every top fighter, Merab's next strategy is to rematch every fighter in the division. Additionally, a rematch with Yan seems like the ideal next step. Let's listen to Merab's thoughts.
Easy, and I don't want to wait too much the next contenders. Like, I think Peter is 3-fight win streak. He's former champion, and I think he deserved title fight, and I think so. If UFC wants, I'm ready to fight in December, no problem.
Well, right now there's no main event for December, so maybe you guys get the main event.
Maybe. Let's see. That would be good. Yes, I was impressing actually about how he was defending my takedowns, and to get up. He was doing a great job. Also, he was pushing my hand. That way, he was making tired my hands. And he was well prepared, well training, and then I think striking is more easier than wrestling with him, because he was making my wrestling way harder than striking. Striking, I had much success with him.
Following that vicious knockout victory over Khalil Rountree, Jiri Prochazka is not wasting any time. Alex Pereira was challenged to a trilogy match by Jiri shortly after his highlight finish. The only problem is that Carlos Olberg, a newcomer who has been dominant and is generally predicted to be the next in line for the title opportunity, has already defeated Pereira twice. Pereira has been publicly discussing going up to heavyweight for a possible mega fight, which has further muddled matters and left the light heavyweight category in utter disarray at the moment. Everyone is anticipating the UFC's next move. Dana White acknowledged that he was interested in Pereira going up a weight class, but he added that since there are still possibilities at 205, they still need to get together and talk things out. Jiri's victory over Rountree was unquestionably remarkable. Title wasn't exactly how he performed before that knockout. The future at 205 appears to be bright, with Olberg rapping on the door and Pereira potentially considering a new division. Now let's hear what Jiri had to say.
Moments in the first and second round where you were thinking, oh, I'm being too patient, I'm being too calm.
Yeah, that was right. That was right. I was too patient, and that was something I didn't realize, that I waited too much for a counter, too much waiting for a counter, because I thought like that will be there. I'm on the place. I will catch him really clearly with the counter, but his technique and his attitude was just waiting for my attacks, good defense and go back, good defense and go back. So I needed to change it, and I changed it in the third one.
What would be different in a third fight in your mind?
I will take all these 2 fights, what I've learned from, and I will not repeat my mistakes. I will be just better. I will find a way.
Following his decisive victory against Ankalaev, middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev immediately praised Pereira on Twitter, writing, "Alex, congrats. We must now complete our business." Fans erupted in excitement at the prospect. However, Pereira made it apparent during the press conference that his sole goal is to go to heavyweight. Additionally, Alex stated that he is striving for something huge and has no desire to compete against the Aspinall vs. Gane heavyweight champion, a dispute between Jon Jones and the White House. Even though a Khamzat matchup would be a huge battle, Pereira is obviously aiming for a generational super fight, which would determine his legacy. Khamzat's colleague Arman Sarukian, meanwhile, has been encouraging him to advance to light heavyweight and then heavyweight, stating that the Chechen can undoubtedly pose a significant threat at those weights. The light heavyweight scene is a flurry of activity as both boxers aim for historic bouts, leaving fans to wonder if and when these two titans will finally square off. The discussion alone has UFC fans daydreaming about one of the biggest fights in recent history, even if it doesn't happen immediately.
Khamzat Chimaev has called you out and said that congratulations, but now you guys need to finish your business. Are you aware of what business that is, and are you interested in him moving up to fight you at this stage?
Thanks for congratulating me, but all I want is a super fight. I want to fight at heavyweight, but all I can say is thank you.
Só agradeço só pelos parabéns.
When Dana White was in here, he didn't seem over the moon about the idea of you fighting at heavyweight. If you could send a message to him, I'm sure you'll have meetings and stuff, but what would your pitch be to move up to heavyweight?
Não precisa. A gente já teve conversa lá atrás.
No need. We already talked backstage.
What did he say?
O que ele falou?
Segredo.
It's a secret.
After the crazy UFC 320 cards, Ilia Topuria couldn't contain his admiration, especially after witnessing his buddy and compatriot Merab completely destroy Corey Sandhagen with his unrivaled cardio and famous unrelenting speed. Topuria sent a sincere remark in Spanish, which has since been translated into English, on his Instagram story. "We've already arrived at a point, brother, when your triumphs seem almost routine. But we all understand how difficult it is to get there. I proudly state this: you are a living legend who exemplifies perseverance, selflessness, and compassion. You are a remarkable individual with a soul too large for your chest, in addition to being a fighter. We stand by you at every turn, we love you, and we support you." El Matador's upcoming bout is anticipated to take place in early 2026. Even if there is still some conjecture and some commentators think Justin Gaethje would get the next chance, everything suggests that Paddy will be his first title defense at 155 pounds. Fans have been dreaming of a fight, and that contest is looking to be the main attraction on Paramount's first UFC program of the year. Let's examine Paddy's preparations for this potential encounter.
That's fighting time better if I'm fighting El Chorizo. That's a lot what I want to work on, but me grappling always feels phenomenal. As you see in them rounds, lad, when I get people on the floor, they don't get up, lad. I smother people. Like Khamzat against DDP the weekend, once I get you down and I'm on top of you and I'm smothering you, lad, you're not getting up, lad. I'm controlling you. I'm making you feel my weight and making you feel some shots at the same time. That's the thing, lad, when I get on top of someone, you're not getting up. Nice to be back home for a bit, settled in, training every day. Since me fight, lad, a couple of days later I went to Dubai for 2 weeks, then I went to Cyprus for a week, then went to America for 6 weeks. Was home for like 2 days. I had to go to Monaco for the weekend. So it's nice to just be home, be settled, be in the gym training with everyone.
I appreciate you watching. Remember to subscribe to and like my channel.